Adriane, I've been waiting to ask you this for a long time. Now, you said very confidently that you're going to win in Vancouver Centre and Elizabeth is going to win in Saanich Gulf Islands. Now, some people might say that this is aiming too high. How do you respond to that?
Well, I've been told about, first of all, on the street, I've never felt an election like this, and I've been doing a number of elections. So the people that are coming up to me from the very first day of the election and saying, you don't even need to give me your pamphlet, I've already decided I'm going to vote for you. And it has come from across the board. People who said, I used to vote Liberal, I used to vote NDP, I used to vote even Conservative, are saying the same thing.
In Vancouver Centre, right?
In Vancouver Centre.
Against Hedy Fry?
Yeah, and I think it's because people are wanting change. I think it's that there are people in Vancouver Centre who say, Hedy's been around a long time for something new. And right now, it's just this perfect opportunity to elect a Green, to elect me, that sort of fits with the right time and that right place.
I'm just wondering if Sven Robinson can't do it, or if Kennedy Stewart indeed couldn't do it, what makes you think you could do it against Hedy Fry?
Good question. And an example would be in the last year, 2 communities elected Green MPs as the first Green MPs in their countries. In England, Carolyn Lucas in Brighton, and in Australia, in Melbourne. Adam Batt. They are very, very similar communities to Vancouver Centre. Check it out. They are coastal, they are young, they are very gay-friendly, strong LGBT populations, arts and culture, film centres. I think there's a willingness in communities like that to step out of the box and just say, we're going to do it here. This is where we're going to make change. And so I think it's a matter of that Vancouver Centre has the guts to do it.
So you're going to be
and the vision.
new Caroline Lucas?
Can I? Well, no, I'm going to, because as leader, I have to get elected. And
she will get elected. She will.
No, but I wanted to explain the difference. The reason that you say Sven couldn't do it.
Which he came back.
I know.
To run in that run.
And I love Sven. I'm not commenting on Sven. I love Sven. Just to explain the appeal that Greens have, which is why, pundits, and I find political questioning, particularly last night, that CHCH thing, there's a tremendous amount of conceit on the part of media pundits, not you, of course, man, who think they can tell what's going to happen based on previous voting patterns. And what they miss is that partisanship is breaking down. But it's still enough part of someone's DNA that if you've always voted NDP, really have a hard time voting Liberal. If you've always voted Liberal, an NDP or a Conservative vote, you say, I can't bring myself. A Green vote can unify a whole lot of voter bases that have never voted Green before if the candidate's right and if the message is right. So what I'm finding in my writing is very similar to what Adriane's saying. I have people saying, I've voted Conservative all my life, but I'm going to vote for you. People saying, I've voted Liberal all my life, but I'm going to vote for you. And the appeal is the message of something different, that politics, as we experience it right now on Parliament Hill, is distressing, to put it mildly. People find it appalling, the behavior, the super rabid partisanship that Keith Martin cited when he said he wasn't going to run again. So that whereas Sven taking a run at something, well, a lot of people would be longtime NDPers, always love Sven, they're going to vote NDP, but it's not enough to dislodge people who always voted Liberal. And it certainly isn't going to track a Conservative vote. And Greens are appealing to people in a different way, and also, of course, getting people who never voted before to believe that there's a point in casting their ballot, that there's something they can believe in. So it pulls together votes in a different way.
You're going to need to see a significant voter lift, to use a political expression.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Are you hoping to see it up? Where are you hoping to see the next voter turnout go to? From 59.6?
I'm very discouraged right now about voter turnout. Voter turnout is being deliberately manipulated by, particularly the Conservatives. I don't know how much the Liberals are trying to do it too, of what is called by the U.S. Republican Party voter suppression tactics. I identified it in my book that came out after last election. Attack ads have the effect of reducing voter turnout. We've never seen as nasty attack ads as in this election. That's why we tried before the election, back in November, to try to interest other parties in a ban on political parties being able to buy airtime.
But that didn't work, so now what are you going to do?
Well, that's my point. That's why I'm discouraged about voter turnout, right? One would say I should have been in the debates, that would help. So where are the opportunities to get voter turnout to increase across Canada? We're doing everything we can through social media. We're doing everything we can through Twitter and Facebooks and YouTube postings. We have a young slam poet who did a short film about why youth should vote. We're doing everything we can to encourage Canadians to vote. But our access to the media and airtime is very much limited because the media in the consortium have also been giving us less coverage on the platform, less coverage on our policies than in '08. So overall, how do we get voter turnout to increase? I think Georgia Strait can play a role. We've got paid youth organizers in every part of this country as Greens to get out a youth vote. We're doing everything we can. But I'm saying I am very worried about the manipulation and the cynicism of the other parties to try to discourage voter turnout.